Hi students, welcome back to the class which is discussing about motion. Today, let us learn about repetitive motion. When an object moves such that it repeats its motion after a certain interval of time, then it is said to be repetitive motion. For example, motion of our lungs when we are breathing in and breathing out. Earth revolving around the sun are examples for repetitive motion. The specialty of the movement of lungs and earth is that they are repeating their motion at a certain interval of time. In the case of lungs, the motion of it will be different after running and before running, isn't it? After running, we will be taking in and giving out air fastly. But before running, it will be in normal way. That means movement of lungs varies according to some time. But in the case of Earth, it will be completing its motion around the sun in a fixed time interval. So based on repeating motion in the fixed time interval and varying time interval, repetitive motion can be classified into two. They are periodic motion and non-periodic motion. Periodic motion is the motion that repeats itself after regular intervals of time. And non-periodic motion is the motion that repeats itself but not after regular intervals of time. The revolution of the earth around the sun and the motion of the pendulum of a wall clock are periodic in nature. In both the cases, the objects completes their motion in a fixed time interval. For example, the Earth always takes 365 1/4 days to complete one revolution around the Sun. Similarly, the pendulum of a wall clock takes a fixed time to complete one oscillation. One oscillation means starting from the center position, then it moves to one side and from there it moves to the other opposite side. Then it will comes back to its center position. So it will complete one oscillation. Starting from the center, moving to one side and going to the opposite side, and when it is coming back to the center position, then it will complete its one oscillation. That is, it will complete its to and fro motion one time. Okay. So examples for non-periodic motion are swaying of branches of tree, motion of our lungs during breathing, swinging of our arms and legs while walking, motion of a rolling ball on the floor are some examples for non-periodic motion. In the case of periodic motion, we already discussed that the earth revolving around the sun and movement of a pendulum on a wall clock. Other kind of motion that we are going to discuss is the random motion. When we are observing the movement of butterfly, we cannot specify its kind of motion. Why? Because it won't be moving in particular direction or speed. Such types of motions are called random motion. So, if an object moving with no specific path and frequently changing its direction, it is said to be in a random motion. Other examples for random motion are a dancing girl who moves in different directions at different speed, a football player moving in different directions during a game of football shows random motion. You can find other examples for repetitive motion and random motion. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.